Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I am making dinner, and I just thought I would bring you in here with me while I do that. I'm just making a super simple recipe tonight. I can't even hardly call it a recipe. I'm just making some smoked beef sausages and cheesy grits. That is what I've been wanting, and that is what I've been craving, so that's what's for dinner. So I'm doing the cheesy grits in my Instant Pot here. 1 cup of grits. I'm going to turn the saute button on for just a minute. Now I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter. I just took this butter out of the fridge, so it is super cold. Super hard. Alright, so I'm just going to stir this. Basically, I'm just going to melt the butter. Get that all melted into the grits. And then once that's melted, I'll turn off the Instant Pot saute button, and I'll add in the rest of the ingredients. But while I'm waiting for my butter to melt, I just thought I would share with you the other day, my son and daughter-in-law, well, let me back up a little bit. My son has been thoroughly enjoying growing cucumbers this year. He grew a few last year for the very first time, and I think that just completely hooked him on at least dipping his toe into gardening. And so this year, of course, right away, he started some cucumber seeds, planted all sorts of cucumbers out there because he wanted pickles. He wanted to not only make some refrigerator pickles like he did last year, but he wanted to can pickles. The good pickles, as the family calls them. And so the other day, he finally got the opportunity to do that. We had plenty of cucumbers coming in out of the garden, and so my son and daughter-in-law made proper canned pickles for the very first time. Just go quick, don't pause. Now, I don't recall if I ever made a video of that pickle recipe, but I do know that it's on my website, and so if you are curious about family's favorite pickle recipe, I will put a link to that in the video description down below. Alright, my butter is all melted in, so I just shut off the Instant Pot. I'm going to add in a pinch of salt, good sized pinch. I'm going to add in 3 cups of water. And I forgot to mention, the grits that I'm using here are not the quick grits. They're the regular slow cook type of grits. So you don't want to use instant or anything like that with these. This one's not open yet. We're going to add in a cup of half and half. Oh, perfect. I didn't need the new one after all. Alright. And we're just going to stir these together. And then we're going to close the Instant Pot, latch it and all that good stuff. And we're going to use the manual setting, and we're going to cook it for 10 minutes. And then once it's done doing its process, we will let the pressure come down naturally for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll open it up and we'll add in our shredded cheese. Alright, I've got my smoked sausage cut up and browning here in one of my cast iron skillets. And while this is cooking up, I'm going to go ahead and shred my cheese. And I'm using a sharp, extra sharp actually, cheddar. I'm very kind of partial to sharp cheddars. I grew up eating mild cheddar cheese, but I always buy at least a medium, but usually sharp or even extra sharp if I can find it. Alright, and this was just a little block of cheddar, about 8 ounces I believe. Alright. Alright, so I've had a few people asking me about my missing Bible. Those of you who don't watch my scripture reading videos on Saturdays, I had a Bible go missing somehow that was sitting right here on the counter. I was the only person in the house, and it kind of just sort of vanished. Mr. Smith and I spent over a week looking for it, could not find it anywhere in the house, turned the house upside down. Again, I was the only person in the house, and it was there and then it wasn't. And I've had people asking me if it ever turned up. Well, I had just about given up hope that I would ever see it again when I found it. I just found it the other day, you know, after I prayed about it repeatedly. Lord, where is this Bible? Where could it have gone? You know, all of that. And somehow the Bible that was right here with, it was this Bible that I was giving away, along with the Bible that I normally read out of, and my Bible journal, all stacked right here, ready to go outside because I was getting ready to do my scripture reading video. And I went to go grab something, and I came back and the Bible was gone. Yeah, it was missing for over a week, well, closer to 2 weeks, I think. And it just showed up yesterday, I think it was. Somehow this Bible went from being right here in a stack to tucked up underneath some cases of brand new canning jars in a completely different room. So the Bible turned up, and that's the story. Yeah, so those of you who were asking and wondering about the vanishing Bible, it finally showed up, and that mystery will remain a mystery as to how that happened. All right, my sausage is just about browned, so I've got it turned all the way down. The grits finished cooking about 10 minutes ago, and so I've got about 5 more minutes before I will open up the lid. I've got my shredded cheese here that I'll stir in. Now, if the grits need a little bit more liquid, if I want them a little bit creamier, then I'll just stir in a little more half and half. But like I said, I've got about 5 more minutes, so I'm just going to kind of finish washing up my dishes and putting these things away. And that'll be about the perfect time for the next step. So we had a huge rainstorm come through here today, which I was grateful for. We have definitely not been getting enough rain. And I know the garden will greatly appreciate it. I am still getting lots of squash out of the garden. I mentioned in my last garden tour that I was pretty sure that the fertilizer I had given to the squash was helping, because I was seeing some blossom end rot, and as you can see, no blossom end rot. So I think the CalMag fertilizer did the job. It's been 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and let off the rest of the steam. There we go. Show you the grits here. Nice and fluffy and creamy. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix in my shredded cheese. We're just going to let this melt in. That'll about do it. And I think consistency-wise, it looks just right. All right, there we go. Super easy, cheesy grits and sausage. Very rustic, very simple, very southern, and delicious. So that is it for today, friends. Thanks for coming along with me while I made dinner and just kind of chit-chatted a little bit. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll talk to y'all next time.